Hi there, thank you so much for joining me today. This video is going to be 5 products that I have hit pan on recently. I just saw Sarah Rose do the video like this and I realized I haven't done one in so long. And I keep a little list in a spreadsheet where every time I hit pan on something, I add it to this list, and once I hit 10 products then I do a video. But I have found that I constantly have to take things off of that list because by the time I've gotten close to 10, I've already finished up the majority of the products in that list already. And so with me only talking about 5 products, I do think this video is going to be relatively short and sweet. Well, I say that, but sometimes I feel extra chatty, so we'll see. We'll see if that's actually the truth. But I will just jump right in. One is a pan I just talked about in a Get Ready With Me that I filmed. I don't think that'll be out yet. It's a tutorial where I applied all of the products that I talked about in my If I Could Only Keep One video. That one I think I'm still editing, so it probably won't be out, but that's what I'm wearing on my face today. So if you wanted to see how I got this look, then please stay tuned. But in that video, I mentioned that I had hit pan on my Charlotte Tilbury color corrector in the shade Fair. I'm not entirely sure how easy that is to see in the glare, but it is right there in the middle. And I am really glad to see that it took me a long time to eventually hit pan. I've used this 88 times, and I would say I hit pan around the 80 use mark. And I do go in with my finger pad and apply it to my under eyes that way. And so I think 80 uses is a lot. I think I would consider that it taking a long time for me to hit pan, and I still have plenty of product in there. So I am glad to see that I'm getting so much use out of something that is more expensive. And I just really like this color corrector. I think it's beautiful. The next one is a highlighter. It's a mini highlighter from Becca in the shade Rose Quartz. This is the most recent and the smallest pan I will have to share with you today. I'm gonna have to get real up close in there for you to see it. Do you see that tiny little pinprick of a pan showing there? I was gonna say I'm really sad that Becca doesn't exist as a brand anymore, but then I remembered that Smashbox, I think, bought Becca or absorbed Becca, and they still sell the color corrector from Becca and some of the shades from the highlighter. And I just looked it up and Rose Quartz is still available. They have 5 shades available: Champagne Pop, Moonstone, Chocolate Geode, Opal, and Rose Quartz. And so if I finish this, which given the pace that I'm reaching for it, I probably will have this finished by the end of the year. If I do feel like I miss it and I want it back, I can still purchase it again at some point. So that is very promising. I'm really happy to see that. Moving on to the next product, which is a bronzer, and I technically have the empty bronzer pan here to show you, but the reason is because I was having so much trouble getting the rest of the product out of the corners that I decided to smash it up and put it in this old cleansing balm container from Good Molecules. I don't even think you'll be able to see just the little amount that I have left in there. It's kind of just accumulated in the bottom. I think I probably have like another week or so of use before this is gone, and then I'll have a full bronzer empty, which is awesome. This is the Take Home the Bronze Anti-Orange Bronzer from TheBalm in the shade Oliver. I don't even think they make this anymore, but I love it. I think it's a beautiful bronzer, and it takes me a long time to finish full bronzers, so this is going to be quite the victory when I can talk about it in my next empties video. And then the last 2 pans are in eyeshadows, and they're both from this Lethal custom palette that I built a few years ago. The first pan is in this shade Ceres. This is also a really recent pan. I don't know if you're gonna really be able to see it very well, but it's right there in the center. It's very, very small. I hope you can kind of see it. And I do like using this shade all over the lid. It's a really shifty color. It's got hints of blue and purple and pink and other things in there. It's not just like a white eyeshadow like it looks in the pan. But one thing I really love to do with this is put it in my inner corner and then build it up towards my eyebrow bone. And it just looks so beautiful and shifty and brightening, and for that reason I use a really small brush, and so that's why the pan in there is so small. And then the other pan I have is a little bit bigger. It's probably one of the first pans I hit out of this group, and that is the shade Retrograde, which I think is also multi-chrome. It's got a brown base and then blue with a couple of other color shifts in there. On my finger you can kind of see some of the purple, but when I put this on my eyes, really that light green is the only thing that you see. In fact, when I wore this and this headband a little while ago in a video, like probably a year ago, if not longer, a lot of people complimented my ability to match my eyeshadow and my hairband perfectly. I just think these are really, really beautiful shades. Oh my goodness. I love this palette so much, I reach for it all the time. These pans are bigger, but they are thinner. And so I do think it's easier to hit pan on these than maybe some other shadows. Just to give a quick comparison, these single shadows from Lethal are 1.6 grams, and then the ones from like a Natasha Denona palette of this size, these are each 1.28 grams. And so even though the actual pans are larger, they are a little bit thinner. And so given how many times I reach for this palette just on its own, I do think I'll have more pans from this palette to share in the future. So those were my 5 most recent pans I wanted to share with you. Hopefully in my next update I'll have even more. I love watching these. I love seeing people hit pan on their products. I just think that's such a fun part of the process of being a makeup enthusiast. I do have a whole playlist of me showing you things I've hit pan on over the years. That was actually one of my first videos I ever did when I started the channel. And so if you'd like to see more content like that, I will have it linked in the cards and in the description box. But in the meantime, that's everything I have. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!